So, good day everyone. The assigned topic to our group is man-made pollution, a growing threat. So, what is man-made pollution? Pollution is a complex and pressing issue facing our planet, with direct consequences for the environment and human health. Man-made pollution is a significant contributor to these challenges, and understanding its sources, impacts, and solutions is crucial for ensuring a sustainable future. So, self-explanatory naman, di ba, ang man-made pollution? Ito na yung mga issue na tig-face kang sa tuyang mundo. So, question, what are some examples of man-made pollution that we see in our everyday lives? Yan, tama. One of them is air pollution. So, air pollution is caused by harmful gases and particulate matter released into the atmosphere. It can lead to respiratory illness, acid rain, and climate change. So, how is air pollution formed, or where does it came from? Paano nabubuo ang air pollution? Yan, tama. So, next is water pollution. Water pollution occurs when harmful substances contaminates body of water, leading to damage to aquatic ecosystems and risks to human health. So, self-explanatory naman, di ba, ang water pollution? Tano nagkakaigwa ng pollution? Simple. Dahil sa mga tigrarabag ka mga tao ning basura sa river, sea, or canals, mga something water, or here sa sa surface. And next is soil pollution. So, soil pollution occurs when toxic substances accumulate in the soil, impacting plant growth and potentially contaminating groundwater. So, soil pollution naman is dahil sa mga chemical or mga pagmimina, and also sa tamang pagtapon para sa sa water pollution, pagtapon ng basura. How about you guys? Tama ba ang inapunan nitong ning tamang pag-apon? I mean, what is the term? Tama ba ang tama ba ang pag-apon ning basura sa tamang basurahan? That's the question, guys. Next, noise pollution. Dapat din naman i-explain ang noise pollution. It's so very, very self-explanatory naman based on the title. Noise pollution is caused by excessive levels of noise, which can lead to hearing loss, stress, and sleep disturbance. Based sa sleep disturbance, diba itong mga kunyari, may birthdayhan, tapos dawa 1 AM de panindatig sa sarado si video okay ninda, tapos puro pasintenado ang nagkakanta or burat na, tapos dawa sabihan nindo ning magpundo dahil talaga magpundo pero pakusog pa ning pakusog. That's what we call noise pollution. So next is cause of man-made pollution. One of them is industrial activities. So, what is industrial activities? Industrial processes can release harmful pollutants into the air, water, and soil, contributing significantly to pollution. So, ang mga industrial activities, iyon na si mga pabrika, planta ng kuryente, and manufacturers. Yan itong mga process na madalas nagduluwas ng mga pollution such as chemical and gases sa air, water, or sa lupa. Second is transportations. So what is transportations? Vehicles emit harmful gases including carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxides contributing to air pollution and climate change. So, ang transportation naman, yun naman si mga sasakyan na kotse, truck, train, and airplane. This burning release harmful gases, most notably carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxides. So, dahil di sa mga gases na nag-contribute directly ng air pollution and are major drivers of climate change. So, the more na igwa kita ng vehicles na tigpo-produce ka mga taga-ibang bansa, the worse this problem becomes. Ayan ang mga cause kang man-made pollution. That's the biggest. Number 3 is agriculture. Next. So, number 3 is agriculture. Agricultural practices such as pesticide use and livestock farming can lead to water pollution and soil degradation. So, ang agriculture naman is modern agriculture practices can also be a source of pollution. Why? Because of using pesticides can contaminate water and soil, also sa pag-aapon taning mga basura sa ilog. Or irrigation. Nagkakos din inining sa mga magsasaka kapag yung basura is na-stuck sa yung pinaka hole or labot, inaagihan kang tubig from irrigation to So, last one is waste generation. Waste generation or waste segregation. Waste generation. The productions and disposal of waste contribute to soil and water pollutions and release harmful greenhouse gases. So, sa waste generation, yun nga si mga sinasabi ko sa bago na nitang iapon ang basura sa tamang basurahan. Also, si mga can or bottle na pwede tang i-recycle, pwede tatong ipunon para mas makagibuhatan ng bagay na mas kaipuhan ta. Araw kang kakulangan kang ibang school sa mga chair, pwede kitang mag-ipon ng mga bottles to recycle it into a chair. So next is a climate change. This is the world's leading problem. So climate change, greenhouse gases released by human activities trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to rising global temperatures and extreme weather events. So, sa greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane, ang released by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. So, second is biodiversity loss. So, ang biodiversity loss is pollution degrades habitat, disruption ecosystems, and threatens the survival of countless species leading to biodiversity loss. So, ang biodiversity loss is pagpupunta ng mga puno sa kagubatan para may mga space and gagawin ng mga tirahan. It also affect in our environment.
Yan naman ate ko rin naman dyan.
It is a biodiversity loss. Ayun na itong mga pagdadakol ng mga mga buildings. And garo ito inaagaw ninda ang space kang kagubatan para makatindog sinda ning mga buildings. So third one is water scarcity. Pollution contaminates water sources, making them unsafe for consumption and reducing water availability for human use and agriculture. So, sa water scarcity, ang mga pollution na nagpaparumi sa ating pinagkukuhunan ng tubig or ilog, lawa at tubig sa ilalim ng lupa. Nagiging unsafe siya para sa to. Diyan kita nagkukuaning water para inumon. This lack of access to clean and sufficient water impacts human health, food security, and economic development. So, next is deforestation. Deforestation, clearing of forests for agriculture, urbanizations, and logging resulting in habitat loss, carbon emissions, and disruptions of ecosystem. So, ang deforestation is same with biodiversity. Ang pagputol ng mga puno sa gubat or tirahan ng mga hayop. Also, tree is important to our environment dahil ang puno ay sumisipsip ng carbon dioxide. Kaya once na maputulin or magdikit ang mga puno sa sarong lugar, dyan din na mas igwang possible na magbaha dahil sa kakulangan ng puno and also climate change. Plastic pollution. So, ang plastic pollution, yun yung si mga pag-ipon ng plastic waste sa paligid, lalo na sa dagat, ay nagdudulot ng malubhang banta sa life kang dagat. Tiraan ng mga hayop at health nating mga tao. Ang plastic hindi basta-basta nabubulok for so many years. Dawa kalot kita sa irarong kang tubig, kang daga, may makukuha kita itong mga datihan ning plastic. Taday nga ni siya basta-bastang natutunaw. Unless sulon. Pero it's too bad to burn plastic. To end this topic, I have my questions. Ano ang dapat gawin upang maiwasan ang pollution? Thank you.
Hi, so my topic was global citizenship. Global citizenship was all people share a global citizenship carrying an equal responsibility for global events. From the word responsibility, we all have responsibility to our country to know what's the issues of our own country, and as an international, we need to know the problem of our country and what's the issues. We have all responsibilities. So, example of this was to know the climate change, and we can donate to international aid and organization, mag-donate po tayo in emergency relief pag may climate change, and food, so, and donate sa education. So, next is an example is advocating for fair trade practices. It focuses on farmers and workers. So, next is citizen. Citizen, a human who loves interconnectedness sa other country, and an intellectual who travels widely, engages with diverse culture, and promotes cosmopolitan views. So, digdi po, nagta-travel ang sarang tao sa other country, nagpo-promote niya po ang culture and cosmopolitan views. And pag nagustuhan niya po ito, he or she love interconnectedness as a citizen. Example po of this is April Carter, a British peace activist. Her works transcend national borders and focuses on issues that affect people worldwide. Next, global civil society concern. Addressing global issues like PEN International, World Association, hold conference, publishes newspaper pamphlets, and are writers that promotes freedom of expression and intellectual cooperation. Ang pan-international po ini ang nagtatabang sa mga writer na mai-proceed ang gusto nilang surat kung may issue na tikakaharapan sa wrong country na ma-express po ito. So, example of this was Amnesty International. Ini po ang advocates for human rights. Nagtatabang sa mga human rights. Next is Greenpeace. Hindi naman po is campaigning for environment protection. And doctors providing medical care in conflict zone. Yan pang example ng global civil society concern. Next, promotes world governance. We have 3. Facilitate international agreements and collaboration in issues like climate change or pandemics. Number 2, Red Cross raise awareness and funds for disaster relief efforts, promoting humanitarian principles. And next, number 3, promote human rights, environmental protection, and sustainable development. Next was campaigning for human rights and cosmopolitan principle and international law. So, digdi po, it emphasizes the importance of transnational organization in promoting human rights. So, promote po digdi ng human rights. And next is connecting this concept of global society and global citizenship. Nagpo-focus man lang po ini sa pag-promote po ng human rights. Next was cosmopolitan activity. The meaning of cosmopolitan activity is a group within a national disregarded or opposed to government policies to forge connection with citizens in other country. This can range from collaboration campaigns against their own governments to promote extreme scenarios involving cooperation across nations considered enemies. So, digdi po, ang tiktok po digdi is ifabo po ni sarong tao ang rule ng country niya. Siyempre, marali po sinda and para matugunan itong issue ito. But if they can't, the government, habang ng government, this can be a threat for them because pwede mag-collaborate itong sarong ito sa other country na kaiwan. So, different kind of cosmopolitan activity. We have 3 po. 3 cosmopolitan activity. Number 1, state when groups within one country ignore or oppose official policies to create links with citizens in other country. Number 2, they jointly campaign against the government in support of shared goals. Number 3, in the most extreme case, in enemy countries. Ito na po, sabi ko na ma-join pa sinda sa kaiwal na country ning hinalian mo country. And they support their campaign too. So next was women rights and transnational solidarity. Ang transnational solidarity po, parehas lang po ng Amnesty International. It's all about human rights. Women rights and transnational solidarity. Women rights, we all have rights as a human, as a citizen. Sa kada saro, we all have rights. And sa women rights, ang tigtutukoy po dito is right to live, right for free, violence, right and discrimination, right highest sustainable standard of physical and mental health, and rights to be educated, rights to own property, rights to vote, and rights to earn equal wage. So, para po ma-achieve po kayo ng women rights na ini, diba may discrimination po dati ang mga babae dahil hiling lang po sila sa physical appearance na dahil kaya ng babae. So, ini po para ma-achieve po ining mga women's rights na gusto ng babae. Nagtabang po ang transnational solidarity to achieve this kind of rights. So, ang transnational solidarity is an organization who help or support to women. Ayan, so titutukoy ka. Right has the same goal to address the issues of women. For example, they want better labor standard, access to healthcare, and protection from violence. Parehas lang po ini ng Amnesty International na gusto na ma-achieve po ang women's rights ng kada saro. Ini lang po transnational solidarity isang tabang sa women ma-achieve ang gusto ng rights to women. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rasa Mayban Salida, and the assigned topic for me is the sustainable development. So, what is sustainable development? Based on Brundtland report, development that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So, sustainable development is about the balance between the economic growth, environmental protection, and social equity. So while we are developing, it would want to sustain the things that we have as of the moment. So we will not able to damage the resources that we will have in the future. Kumbaga, ang pag-unlad ta in the present day, kang mga needs ta, dapat da makakompromise ang ability kang future generation na ma-meet din ninda ang mga needs nila. So next is stability, firmness in position, permanence, and resistant to change, especially in disrupted way. So stability po is about quality and state of being stable, and it's not easy to change. Kumbaga, sa example, sa business, clothing, mas stay siya sa passion or sa mga design na igo siya. Dahil siya matake the risk sa bagong luwas na design or passion pag dahil siya sure na magiging maginto sa mata ka mga tao or magiging malangkaw ang income niya doon. Next is sustainability, the ability to sustain something. It considers the long-term capacity of a system to exist, not its short-term resistance to change. So, ang sustainability is about ensuring and maintaining the long-term valuability of resources and economic growth that even future generation would be benefits. So, sa business, di ba? Pag nagigibo kita or nagpo-produce ni halimbawa sa clothing, so, masabay kita sa uso or sa fashion design. Di mas nagiging tampok ito sa mata kang mga millennials or sa future generation. Kaya, mas magiging long-term siya, pataas ang income ba ang called? And it is also being responsible user of resources. Kumbaga, pag nagigibo ka ng mga chair or table, di ba, nagkakat kita ng trees. So, para compromise ang needs din kang future generation. Kaya puwan tatong palitan ng new plant so that makakagibo din sinda ng new product gamit itong tree. So next is the three pillars of sustainability. This three po is kay puhan magkakasama para ma-achieve ang social sustainability. Kay puhan may makusog na economy and then healthy environment. The first pillars of sustainability is economic sustainability. It focuses on equal economic growth that generates wealth for all without harming the environment. Kumbaga, ang economic sustainability focuses between the balance of economic growth and environmental responsibility. People are making enough money to support their needs and businesses through using the environmental resources. So, habang nagpuproduce nila ng mga gamit hali sa environment, kay puhanin nila yung palitan. So, halimbawa, nagkuha kang puno. Para da ma-harm ang environment, kay puhan ta po itong palitan ng bago, and then, linigan, para may protection ang environment. So, habang nakaka-produce kita ng mga business, and then, daita na harm ang environment, patuloy ning masukses ang economy ta, and then, magkakaigwa ng benefits ang mga people. Environmental sustainability prevents nature from being used as an inexhaustible source of resources to ensure protection and rational use. So, ang environmental sustainability is about natural environment and to remain productive to support human lives. Kumbaga, dito tayo kumukuha ng mga resources na needs natin or products na nakakatulong sa atin. But to remain productive, kaya puwanta din po protektahan ang environment to reduce the pollution or the climate change. Then, ensuring na mamimit din ng future generation ang mga needs nila. So, ang example po dyan is the planting trees, managing forest sustainability, and reducing deforestation. So, there is saying po ba na every time you cut down a tree, you should plant two in its place. So, pag nagkukuha kita ng mga tree para makagibo ng product, syempre kaipuan tatong palitan para may makagamit pa in the future generation. Social sustainability foster the development of people, communities, culture to help a reasonable and fairly distributed quality of life. So, ang social sustainability po is about creating a society that is fair, accessible ang mga resources sa opportunities ni jobs para sa gabos. Then, it balance between the economic growth, environmental responsibility, and social sustainability. Diba? Pag nagmi-make kita ng business, mapuon kita sa pagibong product, which is nagkuka kita sa environment. Then after that, makasusuportahan ta na ang business ta. So, malaog na, or ang ibang people. So, pwede na kita makakreate ng daw paano job sa iba. So, malaog na dyan ang economic growth. Then after that, pag mas nagtaas ang rate ba yan? Or income kang business, pwede na kitang provide or mag-hire ng sustainable job para sa iba. Malaog na din po dyan ang social sustainability kung saan nagkakaigwa na kitang fair or nagtataw na kitang job sa iba na para magkaigwa din sindang success. It's also the sustainable development. Number one is the no poverty. So, pag nakaano na kita ng mga products or na-achieve na ang 3 pillars, pwedeng ma-end na po ang poverty. Same with the second goals, the end hunger. Then next is the gender equality. So, di ba po, nagkakaigwa na kita sa social sustainability, sa fair. So, di ba ngunyan, igwa na po rights ang mga girls. So, next is quality education. So, nagkakaigwa ng tamang opportunity para makapag-aral. Then, clean water and sanitation. So, syempre, pag na-achieve ta ang 3 pillars, yaon na po baga dyan sa ang environmental sustainability kung saan dito pwedeng or ipantang protection ang environment. So, next is the decent work. So, malag na po dyan di ba, sa economic growth, nag-aano kita ng mga jobs. Next is the climate change. So, pag na-sustain na itong tulo, pag na-protektuhan ta ang environment, pag igwa kitang economic growth na sakto lang, and then pag ang social sustainability, pag gabos igwang magayon na trabaho, or may opportunities in daning magayon na trabaho, dahil sinda magpaparaydibo ning bagay na makakaharm sa environment.
So hi everybody, and today we're gonna be discussing about global food security. So first, let us define what is food security. So food security is the condition of which everyone is able to access sufficient, safe, and nutritious food anytime. So kapag igwa kita ning access duman sa mga malilinig ning foods, ning resources, and everyday kitang may kinakakan at least 3 times a day, we can be considered as food secure. So, global food security. There is more than sufficient food produced globally to meet the food needs of all the people on the planet. Despite this, an estimated 124 million experience acute hunger today, approximately 40 million higher than the numbers from 2 years ago. In addition to that, stunted children approximately 151 million, and wasted children are estimated to be 51 million worldwide. So ini palang mga data na iniyo is kadakol ng numbers ang mga nagkagurutom, nagkakagaradan dahil sa kagutuman, dahil sa lack of food security sa bansa. So furthermore, small-scale farmers, fishers, and rural workers produce approximately 70% of food globally, but are among the most vulnerable sector to food insecurity. This data shows the importance and urgent need of global food security, especially because of the millions of people that experience hunger. So, kadakol-dakol po kitang tao na naggutom sa buong mundo, sa iba't ibang country, dahil po sa lakang food security, lalo na ini yung mga sector ta sa food industry, dahil sinda ang nagpo-produce halos gabos ka mga resources ta sa pang-aral daw tang kakan. Halimbawa, ining mga vegetables, ining mga fruits, ini yung rice, di ba? Kabali sila sa mga necessary needs sa aral daw. So the current state of global food security as of 2024, the global food security still remains as one of the significant challenges of the world. Millions of people experience undernourishment due to the lack of food security in their countries. So yun na itong sinasabi to sa bago na kulang ang food security sa mga iba't ibang country, kaya nagkakagutom, nagkakaigong mga undernourishment ang mga aki, as in mga tao. And one of the countries that suffer from hunger is Africa, with the largest percentage of population that faces acute hunger. 20.4% of its population face the mentioned problem. So even though data na pagparahilingon ang pagparahilingon ang ining 20.4% pa lang is kadakol ng tao ang nagkakagutom dyan dahil sa undernourishment and sa lack of food security. Dahil pag nahihiling nito sa mga video sa Africa, diba minsan igwa na itong mga aki na nagkakarigos na lang sa ihi kang kalabaw, kang ihi kang kung anong animals duman dahil kulang duman ang resources sa water and also sa foods. Minsan kulang din sinda, kaya iyan nagkakaigwaning mga undernourishment and mga iba't ibang hilang sa mga aki. So now we're gonna move on to the factors that affects the global food security. So the first one is the population growth. The increase of population have a major impact when it comes to global food security. It puts additional pressure to the demand of the country's available resources such as money, food, and healthcare. That can cause shortages, economic challenges, and resource management, also leading to poverty. And I think may nag-lesson na kanina yung ibang group na ang sabi ninda is kapag nagtataas ang population, mas nagtataas din ang demand kang supply kang mga resources dahil kadakulan ng nangaipuan ng needs kay yung specific product na ining specific na resources na iniyo, kasi alang kao na ang population and nagdadagdag, mas lalo pang nagdadagdag ang pressure sa economic challenges na nangyayari sa bansa and magkakaigwa ng poverty, and poverty is also the reason why di kita nakakaigwa ng mga di kita nakakabakal ka tong mga kakanan ta sa pang-aral daw, which cannot be considered as global food secured na country. So next one is poverty. The access to sufficient and safe food is affected by poverty. Having a limited or uncertain access to adequate food that can result to various medical repercussions such as undernourishment and many more. So yun na ni itong mga naghihirap ng mga taon niya na may kinakarakan, di nakakakanin 3 times a day, at least 3 times a day sa pang-aral daw ninda due to poverty, and also nagkakaigwa na ng mga undernourishment ang mga aki ninda, dahil na nakakaning tol-tol, dahil ninda na kwartong tamang food or sufficient food or safe foods na na-intake ninda dahil sa poverty, dahil kulang nga ang pambakal ninda sa mga foods, and dahil sila nakakabakal ng safe na food. So the next one is the food production. Food production plays a prominent role in terms of global food security because of its necessary role on ensuring the sufficient food for the population. So, food production plays a critical role duman sa sa global food security kasi ini ang nagde-determine kang accessibility, kang stability and kang availability kang mga food supply ta. So ang one good example kaniyo is duman sa Ukraine and Russia katong nagkaigwang drought kang 2021 to 2022. So ang nangyari is ang Ukraine kaya iyan ang pinaka dakulang producers kang wheat sa buong mundo and 30% kang global food export is hali sa India. Kaya katong 2021 to 2022 yung nagkaigwang drought sa India is naapektuhan talaga si mga ibang bansa and nagralangkaw itong prices kang pasta, kang bread, kang flour and naging masakit bakalon itong mga products na ito lalong lalo na duman sa mga harababang income lang ang mga harababang income na countries like ining sa Philippines, harababa bagang mga sweldo igdi sa tuya and kang naglangkaw ituyo mas naging mahal, mas naging masakit i-access ito yung necessary. 'Di ba? Ining mga products na ini is kay puwanta sa pang-araal daw yung bread, ining flour, ining pasta dahil necessary sa living ta dahil yan kinakarakan ta kaya kung dahil kita nakaka-access kayan paano ta masasabing food security kita. Global climate change. Changing temperature and shifting weather patterns is one of the factors that affects the global food security that disrupts the agricultural production, leading to failed crops. This can also lead to the events like droughts and flood that can reduce the agricultural productivity kang bansa ta. And also like pag mainit dahil halimbawa pag warmer temperature mas dakol or mas dyan nagruluwasan to mga peste and pwedeng ma-damage din ang mga crops ta and mabawasan or maapektuhan ang supply chain ta sa pag-produce ng mga food. So the next one is political conflicts. Political conflicts. Ongoing conflicts in political views also affects the global food security, thus disrupting not only the food production but also the distribution of goods and also resources due to the political issues. So one good example po is the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia. So ang Ukraine and Russia, 'di ba? Sinda ang major exporters kang wheat, kang barley, kang fertilizers. And itong katong nagkaigwang war digdiyo sa duang bansa na iniyo, nagkaigwang disruption sa farming and sa distribution kang goods sa iba't ibang region and ito na nagkaigwa ning shortages sa ibang countries na nagre-rely duman sa mga product or sa mga resources nila like itong sa Africa nagre-rely sinda sa grain and duman sinda nagkukuha ning resources nila sa mga imports kang Russia tas Ukraine kaya pun katong nagka-war nagkaigwa sinda ning mga shortages and nagralangkaw din si mga presyo kang ibang products na nagagamit kato yung resources na to. So lastly is supply chain disruptions. The issues in trade barriers, transportation problems, and etc. can also affect the food distribution. One of the notable example of this is the COVID-19 pandemic that restricted exportation of goods, huge labor shortages, and more that hugely affected the food production and distribution. Di ba katong COVID-19 nag-stop si mga exportation na nangyayari sa iba't ibang bansa dahil natatakot sinda na baka igwa na itong mga virus, igwa na itong kung anong virus na nakasalak duman sa mga tigi-export ninda, and baka mahawaan itong counter ninda and mag-cause pa ning mas dakula pang problems. Also, day panindaram kung safe ba ito or malinig ba itong food na ito yun na or resources na tigdadara sa inda dahil nga duman sa virus or pandemic na nangyayari that time. And also, dahil nga duman sa restriction dahil bawal ka magluwas na epektuhan rin si economy dahil mayo na ning workers masyado na tigpapaluwas or may ng workers na pinapalaog sa trabaho dahil sa virus and pag-iingat na rin sa health ta na baka mahawa pa ang mga workers ta. Let's talk about the solutions and strategies. So number 1 is reduce food waste. So ang good example kani is itong sa France, ang mga supermarket duman is tigli-legally sindang required na mag-donate ng unsold ning foods ning itong edible and safe pa man sa mga charities para mabawasan itong sayang na foods na pwedeng ipataop i-donate pa sa mga charities na pwede pang makakan kang ibang tao kaysa man iapon na lang. So, next one is strengthen food system. For example, empowering small farmers. So, government can provide trainings or access for better equipments or kaya access sa technologies para mas mapadali itong pag-process ninda sa mga rice or sa mga pag-manage nila naman sa mga crops kang farmers. And also, access rin sa markets kasi para maging inclusive ang food system ta. Next one is climate smart agriculture. So the ways we can develop a climate smart agriculture is by developing or creating drought resistant crops that can survive in different weathers or extreme weathers. Daw mainit or mauran, makaka-survive ang mga crops or mga tanom-taduman. Like sa India, igong nagagamit duman ng mga farmers ning drought resistant ning rice variety para makasurvive siya daw itong mga irregular na climate changes is makaka-survive man giraray si mga tanom ninda dawa pabago-bago ang mga panahon or nag-i-extreme minsan ng weather or minsan naglilipot makaka-survive man giraray ang mga pananom ninda. Next one is increasing investment in agriculture. So for example, government subsidies. Pwedeng mag-provide ang government ng financial support sa mga small farmers ta or kaya mag-provide ng better equipment or access din sa technology na mas mapapadali ang paggibo ninda or pag-process ninda katuyong rice. So lastly is family planning or sex education. So we can provide access to contraceptives or also education po to the people para din maging aware ay maging responsible sinda sa pagpaplano ng pamilya and bako lang perming dagdag ning population. Also, we can promote awareness to the people na ibagay rin itong population growth ta sa availability kang resources ta kasi kung magdadagdag ka pa ning another pressure sa economic issues ta ano mangyayari is magkakaigwang shortages or kaya issues sa food production. And also this can also reduce the competition rin sa limited resources din sa bansa or sa kada bansa. In conclusion, so although the production of food is adequate, an existing chasm opens up between production and realities of poverty, climate change, and political conflicts that ensure that there is hunger. The worst hit is Africa. The struggle for improved global food security has to focus on ways of reducing waste, improving the resilience of agriculture, and optimizing food distribution. All efforts are meant to assure reliable access to sufficient food by everyone. So that is all. Thank you for listening and goodbye.